feel to it.
Yeah, it's got an almost improvisational tone.
This semester on Stat 201, prepare yourself for YouTube, because we're all zoomed out. Cahoots and special guests, Tiny Brian, Puppet Shark, Evil Moobot,
I am Moobot.
Morty the Rabbit, and
Hey everyone, how are we doing? It's saying OBS reconnected successful. Well, I hope we're streaming online. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're not here. Maybe we are. But if you're in the chat, feel free to say hi. I had the chat up. Well, now I got to bring it back up. But I'm sending out an announcement now as we speak to get some people online right here. I forgot to put the chat window up. I'm going to hear myself speaking. Okay, there's the chat window. Mubot is in the chat. I got my Red Bull as per usual. Second Red Bull of the day. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe. Let's see. We're doing office hours until about 2:15. Okay, office hours. Online office hours. Currently live on YouTube. We'll be doing the first data analytics. Join in if you have questions. It can be about anything. What? Okay. Here. We can do some 327 also. There's that. Some music in the background. Does anyone appear in the chat yet? Okay. All you have to do is click the link to join. And there's 201, my fifth announcement in a few days. And assignment 0. Join in and ask questions about anything. That. In the chat, you can get points for talking. If you want to hear that. Let's go to Red Bull. Too much Red Bull. Okay. Hair looks so crazy. One of those days. It rained all this morning. Okay. Let's get started right here. We need to pull up the first data analytics. Get the office hours thing up. I'm the only one watching, it looks like, so it's just me here. Put that there. Put data analytics number 0. Word. Our song is ending, so we gotta get over there. These tabs. All the tabs. Okay. If you're here, you can always ask questions. Where is the assignments? The data analytics 0. And we're almost there. Maybe I'll get another haircut. Just those awkward lengths where it just does weird things. I'm just gonna constantly, no one watches this part of the video. Okay, here we go. Let's put the timestamp in because we're gonna go do it. Okay. 5:53, Stat 201, Data Analytics 0. Okay, let's go do it. Okay, Data Analytics 0. We're bringing it up here in the background, and you can see it right there. So the best way to know if you're doing the data analytics correctly is to go look at the grading rubric. And you can see right here, the first thing you're going to get graded on is if you put your name and information on the document. So let's open up a Microsoft Word document. And you want to have Microsoft Word. There is the pathways in the syllabus to get it. Make sure you're using Microsoft Word, or at least you can export a Word document, but you need to upload Word documents. If you're trying to get Microsoft Word or something like it, go here in the syllabus, and you will see it has the UTK downloads. And here we go. Let's go here, Office. And that's not it. Microsoft. I thought it was on here. Should be software. There it is, software. Here it is. Word, MS Word. There it is. Knew it was on here somewhere. And log in. It can also be downloaded through Outlook. If you go through your Outlook, if you have problems, let us know. Also, you can contact OIT, but you get Word free from UT and Excel and PowerPoint all free from UT for your tuition, of course. So make sure to have those. So you're going to go to a Word document, one of your thousands of Word document open. And in the Word document, we're going to put it over here a little bit to the side so we can see what we need to write. Here's what you're going to write. You're going to put your name, like my name, Brian Stevens, with no G. You're going to put your email, bstevens@utk.edu. Now, this is your email. Make sure this is your information. Professor. We'll go quick. My professor's quick. He's not teaching the class. And then section, we are actually section 4. My class, I just looked it up today. Just don't. Hopefully that was all in the video because I'm getting some weird OBS disconnect reconnects. So I don't know what's going on. That's happened randomly before. Hopefully it's not a thing. Didn't happen yesterday during class or during any of the office hours, but it's happened twice today, and I hate that. So anyways, we've already gotten some of the points, and now we get down to the tasks. So you're going to be using ChatGPT and UTverse. Now, technically, and I do mean this, you can use other Gen AI tools, especially if you can't complete some of the tasks. We're going to talk about some of the issues that may arise and that can happen with doing these assignments. So let me put in our video details right here. This was the getting started. So the key things to know on getting started are have Microsoft Word and Excel downloaded to your computer. If you have problems with that, let us know. You can go through Outlook to get it, and you can ask OIT for help. You can ask us for help. Just swing by our office hours, and we can work with you in person. We've already got it downloaded for a few people already. And also check out the rubrics at the end of each assignment. You'll see how you're graded on each task, such that the first thing you're doing on here is putting all your information. The next is returning in the files in the correct format. So as long as you put in a Word document, you get that 1 point. Look, we're already 1.5 points done with this assignment. The next thing right here is found a correct visualization for a single numeric variable, appropriate prompting to UTverse, and it's one of the tools in our slides. So it has to be one of the tools in the slides. So it can't be something outside the slides, which actually literally tells you some of the tools in the slides. It literally tells you. So then you'll know if you got it right. Look, just check your answers with these. It tells you the answers right there. Scatterplot. Scatterplot. That's what's in our slides. So if you notice, we're learning how to be successful. It's almost like the rubric has some hints on what you need to find because sometimes the AI has given wrong answers. Let's get a quick jolt of Red Bull. I think I got an addiction. So with this right here, now we're actually going to do task 1. Let's start here at task 1. A very good place to start. Okay. Stat 201, data analytics, 0, task 1. So for the first task right here, you are going to UTverse. If you have a problem with UTverse or it's not working properly, hey, Javante, good to see you. We're doing task 1 of data analytics. And if you have questions, let us know. But also, Mubot's here. So you just got some points, Javante. We'll throw you some bigger points. Why not? You got some bigger points. So glad you came to office hours. You get office hours you get points during office hours too. So if you're watching this video and you're in my class, swing by to get some office hours points. Mubot's now #1 chatter. So with this, Anna, good to see you there. And yeah, good checking points out. And then we'll mod people in class. W. Brock. How many people got? Hey, let's throw one more point button out here. So you actually have to have chat. Alyssa. Hey, everybody. We'll throw in more points. You have to chat for Mubot to see. If you don't chat, Mubot doesn't know you're here. How many people do we have? Oh my gosh. What we got going on here? Wacky Wednesdays. Wacky Wednesdays. You ready to finish up this assignment right here? We're going to talk about how to make an A on this assignment. And if I tell you to do things and you're in my class and you don't get an A, talk to me about it. So it's Wacky Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday. Okay. Let's open up YouTubeverse. I'm going to blank my screen here for a second. Thank you, everybody. I guess I can look at the stream and see how many people are watching. It's on my Streamlabs thing. Or I'm not using Streamlabs. I'm using OBS. OBS does make OBS Streamlabs. Okay, here we go. Let me go to a new chat. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay. So all you have to do to get to YouTubeverse is click YouTubeverse. We're on task 1 right now. Let me re-timestamp this real quick. We had some fun. Go check out that fun a second ago. Re-timestamped. So all you need to do to get to YouTubeverse is click YouTubeverse. And then these are going to be your tasks right here to ask YouTubeverse. Now, I have found a sly way of doing this to make things even quicker. We are going to take all of this right here, work faster, or work smarter, not harder. We're going to go in here, and we're going to say, I need to know 2 visualizations that are good for each one of these. Write them out and describe them in a nice table. And now I'm hitting Shift Enter. Shift Enter allows you to go to a new space without sending the prompt through. So once again, that's hold Shift with your left hand and hit Enter, and you can do a new line without sending the prompt. I copied it using Control-C or Command-C on a Mac, and now I paste with Command-V. Now, you could clean this up a little bit. It will be nice to the AI, because it doesn't know about these slides. It could say, what slides? It actually ignored that when we did. Hey, Mia, good to see you there. We're doing task 1 of Data Analytics 0, and you can ask any questions. We lost the visualization portion of that right there. And then Mubot's saying hi to everybody. Now we're going to hit Enter, and we should get really nice output. And UT's looking cooler each day. Thank you to Dan and Mark over there making some really nice stuff for us to have here. Look at this. Look at this nice table. Wow. And we can even copy it. Look at, man, we can copy that prompt. So we're going to go back here to Microsoft Word. Oh my, it's talking to me. It's talking. Stop. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, it's just talking to me. If you couldn't hear it, it was talking in the background. I was like, stop, stop, stop. They've actually changed the voice, and it sounds a lot better. And I was doing some crazy stuff. I don't know if OBS is having problems right now. People in the chat, have you seen OBS having any sort of weird problems? Or am I going away for a moment? Because I'm hoping this isn't a problem. This rarely happens. A little. Sorry about that. It's happened like twice already. It just happened a 3rd time. But I haven't glitched a little. It should have glitched right there. So I saw it in the background. If you see the message behind me, it tells me when OBS does that. And I have no idea what's going on. It could be a YouTube thing. It's happened rarely. And then let's hope it doesn't. But I mean, this has got it. You remember when we looked at the rubric? What did we see for a quantitative variable summary? What did we see for a quantitative variable summary? What did we see for a quantitative variable summary? Do you remember in the rubric? It said, and we'll throw some points for this, a good way to visualize quantitative variables, or one of the ones that is in the notes for quantitative variables, well, actually, it's funny the 2 we got. The 2 that we have right there, and do you remember what it said in the rubric? I'll show you. Down here in the rubric, the plausible answers for the first one are histogram or box plot right there. Histogram or box plot are the 2 plausible answers for the first one. And our first answers right here are histogram and box plot. So we got both of the 2. I think everything's, watch this. Oh, really? Something's crazy today. Bar chart and pie charts are the 2 right answers for this. So we got both of those. Clustered bar charts, never heard of those. And technically, those should be side-by-side box plots. Did we say that in the notes? Let me go look at the notes. We should have said side-by-side box plots. And segmented, stacked or segmented, that's a different one. Bar charts or pie charts, and side-by-side box plots. Or simply box plot. It should technically be the side-by-sides. And with this, we need to give it our prompt. So let's go back over here. I don't want to do the full thing. Kind of, well, you still have to make it. So it basically told me all the right answers. This one right here is not in our notes. So that one I don't know clustered bar charts. A line chart, meh. And then scatter plots. A lot of people have been getting bubble plots also. But for the notes, I've circled all the ones. Alexis, good to see you there. So all of these right here confirm. And you might want to put in like your prompt, like prompt 1, like we could take and just go back here and look at the question being asked. And there we go. And it was to ask it single numeric quantitative variable visualization. So you see this right here? I think prompt 1 could be, what is a great way to visualize a single quantitative variable? Right there. And then these do stay on. And what you might do, especially, you know, there's a good way to organize it right here. Watch this. We're going to insert columns to the right. Now we got to reorder this a little bit here. But what do you guys think about this? Tell me, I'm going to remove this. And we'll make this a lot smaller. We'll go here and go prompt right here. Or prompt 1, sure. And then we are going to bold the prompt to call attention to it. And then we're also going to take our table up here. And we're going to highlight the table. We're going to go to table design and border style thicker. And the borders, we're going to go borders and put a nice outside border around it. And then we're going to take up here and put a border around that. Is this looking? And then you know what? Let's put borders inside of this. You can go to the borders here and just go to the inside borders. And sure, why not? Is this looking a bit better? What do you think? Is this looking? And then we could put our prompts inside of here. We could start centering the text. It doesn't have to look perfect, but we now have the prompt right here, and we could put prompt. And then we could take these texts, and we could go to home and center the text. Is this, what do you think? Any comments on this? Is this looking a little bit better? Probably format the table too. I think you can do that. You go to table design, table layout. Where's table format? I want your thoughts on this. Ooh, good. Ooh, there we go. Look at that. UT color. I'd say that looks a lot better, right? My accessibility a little bit worried on the coloring of the white text. So let's go to home and go to the text color. And the text color is this one. So we want to change that back to black. Any thoughts? Any comments? Good looking table? Thoughts? No? They go around the task? These are I think there's 4 prompts. Great. Thank you, Anna, right there. I appreciate that. So going through here, you can look. There's 5 prompts, though. Uh-oh. Single numeric, single categorical. Single numeric, single categorical. Numeric plus categorical. Numeric plus categorical. Oh, it doesn't do 2 categoricals. We don't have 2 categoricals on here. So we're just using prompts. So it's mainly evaluating it and analyzing if ChatGPT is giving proper, or UTverse or ChatGPT is giving proper responses. Notice we didn't get 2 categorical variables. And so what would be a good way to visualize 2 categorical variables? And with this right here, we should see mosaic plots or contingency tables or stacked bar charts. Things like that are plausible answers. Stacked bar charts, mosaic plots, like I said. So we should know the answers right. And we could probably copy. Oh my gosh. Stop auto-talking to me. We can copy this right here and bring it over. And we might be able to append it on. Let's see. We click inside of here and insert rows below. Okay. Paste. That did not do what I wanted it to do. So we just append the information. We could, this will be fun right here, but I'm going to go to UTverse. I'm going to bring it over to my other tab right here, my other screen. And with it being on the other screen, I'm literally just going to take the information and paste it in here. Does that make sense what I'm doing? I'm literally just pasting in the information it gave me. And then I see a question, but I'm not going to do the full thing. And then I'm going to put the prompt I gave. So I'd go back to UTverse and say prompt right here, prompt 5. And please tell us, we're going to be talking a lot to the TAs on how to grade this. You could do screenshots. Doesn't hurt to do screenshots. But we want to see that you can ask these questions, get the information, organize the information, things like that. So after we analyze the responses, and if they're wrong, we just continue to generate. Yeah, and ask it. Say, like, that doesn't look right. Are you sure about this? But you're, I'm sure it's all in the assignments tab. No, that's the point. Point farm the heck out of this. That's the point. Is you will be asking it how to do these visualizations. What are these visualizations? And then you're going to turn it, you're going to validate it, which is a very important thing when it comes to looking at what an AI tells you. And then here's the thing. How easy so I want someone to answer for me. How easy is it for you to validate that you have a right answer? When it comes to the right visualization for a categorical variable, how easy is it to validate you have a right answer? And look at what I'm showing you. Because, I mean, like, just check the rubric. Bam, Anna got points right there. Exactly. Just check the rubric and you can validate that you have a right answer because we put the answers in the rubric. So we looked for partial credit, found a correct visualization for the single categorical with appropriate prompting of UTverse, but it is not one of the tools, bar chart or pie chart. So you have to make sure you mention those tools right there. Like, it has to be that it tells you about one of those tools. There are tools outside of it. It says screenshot. And I need to talk to Terry about this to make sure if someone pastes their output, that's fine too. So when we do our grading meetings, here's the technical thing. Please talk to your graders if they take out points. But you can, if you want. And I'm going to tell Terry this. It just doesn't look as pretty. If you want to be super safe and maybe not have to talk to TAs because it does say a screenshot, you might just paste this in. It doesn't look pretty. So does everyone get that right there? You can literally just ask it the question and then give this right here. Who follows me? Throw some yeses in the chat if you're like, hey, look, we got the prompt and we got the right visualization. And it said stacked bar charts or mosaic plots, which, yeah. Probably throw them in order because usually the graders go in order. So do the assignment in order of which it's created. You're welcome. Yeah, so just right there, you can just probably toss that in. Because it's just to show you did the prompt, you got the right answer. It's one of those two that we said or one of those graphics. Thank you, Alyssa, right there. That's task 1. We got task 1 done in about 10 minutes or so. Should we add and if there's any problem, I prefer the pasted table that looks pretty. Like, my preferred is this, because this is how you should present it to a company. The left is how you present it to a company. The right is how you turn it in school. This is the safest way to make sure you get the right grade. So if you're not in our section, probably do it this way. If there's any problems with grading, I'm going to make sure we get everything graded right in my section. I like the Purdy way. But this is the safest for your grade. So I think everyone's going to want to do this. And it's quicker. Safer and quicker. More professional and more dangerous for graders. He's got to make sure you have the right responses in here. And you could do things like, if you wanted, like, color code that it's not in the notes, be like that. And then make a comment at the end like, I have validated these that they are in the notes. Does that make sense? You can do prompts for each one. That might be best. That way you can see individual prompts, or you could write down your prompts. The whole thing the graders should be grading on, if you think about it right here, and we're going to make sure, like, I'm going to make sure my graders do this, is did you give a good prompt, which you can see it right there. Did you get the right visualization? So did you give a good prompt? Did you get the right visualization? And it can be seen quite clearly here for this one. We got the right visualizations down here, and we gave a good prompt. So be thinking of that and argue your grade. So especially since our graders are going to be new, if there's a problem with grading, you let me know. And I will, well, if you're in my section. Any other questions? Really great questions. Let me throw you more points. We've got point forming going all on right here. Any other questions? Is anyone basically done with task 1 for this? Because task 2 is even easier. I'm being serious. Task 2 is Super easy. If we're done with task 1, we go into task 2 in a moment. And this is how office hours is. I'll just do the work with you. We'll just get it done. I can't always do the exact assignment like we're doing here, but it's kind of like I have to kind of do this one. It kind of tells you how to do it too. This is one of the easier ones, and yeah, it's one of the ones I'm pretty much doing. John, good to see you there. Okay, let's go over to the second one. Okay, I'm going to put the notes in the video. That took about 13 minutes, so let's do the next one right here. 27, 23, stat 201. And once again, good question. Someone said, can I come back to this? The answer is yes. And it's now marked in the video, task 2 has begun. And to do task 2, you're going to scroll down here. You're going to download this data set, download, and then you're going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to blank my screen here for a second, pull up ChatGPT, and we're going to go to a new chat. Close the window there. And so I'm going to upload the file. I'll show the screen right here for a second. To upload files to ChatGPT, you must be logged into ChatGPT. You can make a separate Google account like your name, Stat201 UTK, or something like that to use ChatGPT a little bit more because there is limitations on how much you can do the data analytics in ChatGPT. You do not need to buy a pro account. So far, I've been successful with 4 out of 4 students on having them complete this. But we have had a few students where they attempt to do it and it says, you've run out of data analytics. So at that point, make a new ChatGPT account, a new account through Google, and probably just call it your name, Stat201 if you want. And you should have more access. 4 out of 4 students were able to complete the assignments. And we're going to find out when 1,500 or 1,600 students attempt the assignment. So if it says you're out of data analytics, if it says you don't have any more data analytics, what should you do? So this is huge for this task 2. If it says you're out of data analytics, what do you need to do? I'm asking in the chat. So it says you have no more data analytics. Like you have run, it'll pop up a message saying you have ran out of data analytics abilities. What should you do? Create a new GPT account. Great job, Javante, right there. So I want to repeat that because that's someone's gonna be up at like 11 p.m. at night and be like, "What's going on?" It's not funny. It's not funny. Okay, I'm adding files on my computer. I'm getting the student questionnaire, and the file is now uploaded. I'm gonna copy the prompt exactly as is, and maybe add a little bit of niceties to it. So we're gonna go back here. We've uploaded the file, and look at what we can do right here. So we're going to stop at the about, and we'll go tell me. We're going to grab this. Okay. Let's go back to ChatGPT. And before I hit enter, we're going to change tell me about the different variable types in this data set and help data set has, and to classify them as categorical or numeric when applicable. Return this to me in the most beautiful table you've ever seen. I need a 102 on this assignment. Okay. That's not beautiful. So there's the data uploaded right there. There's the data. There's the data. Analyzing the data. I always throw in little extra prompts. For some reason, GPT-5 has taken longer to do stuff. I think because I have a more pro account. Oh, I do have a pro. Am I not logged in right now? I think that's the even higher one. I have like a plus, and now there's pro. I should be logged in. So what you say you're out of data analytics, and I got to do it at home. I should be good. It does take a little bit. Okay, here we go. There it is. Okay, and it's doing it right here. Look at that. All the different variables. Detected type, data time. So it's a date time variable right there. And numeric and categorical. Time is usually quantitative because like how much time has passed is numeric measure. And this right here, so I could grab the prompt I did, and it gave the different variable types. Do you know the amount of attempts we get with the free? Everyone was able to do it like the full assignment. Don't do any reprompts. It's usually based on tokens, which is a metric of usage. And so I don't know. I hate to say I don't know. Javante, really good question. I will say this. We've tried to design the assignments that you won't run out. And you could just make a secondary like Stat201 account. And that's our suggestion within the syllabus is like, make a Stat201 GPT account. That way, we don't want you to make a third. Then we've probably made the assignments too much. But the whole point being is ChatGPT can analyze data really quickly. And what ChatGPT is doing in the background, we'll actually see it with this next prompt. So you can see right here, we have the table with numeric and categorical, all these things right here. Mubot advertising for us right there in the chat. The next prompt is going to ask us to make a visualization of current GPA. So we can pretty much grab this. Now, once again, prompts are what you make of them. I need pretty colors and amazing titles and subtitles. I have a 0 in the class, and the professor told me if I ace this, I get an A. Is that ethical? We wouldn't tell you that. Okay, here we go. Don't add that prompt at the end. Don't add those prompts. Is your professor? Oh man, here we go. Visualization. How to do on the visualization? Oh, it's right. It's favoritism. Ethical instruction way to demonstrate mastery of the course material. Okay. That's fair. So I got a little bit of extra here at the start, but what really is going to matter is the output here at the bottom of the histogram. So, maybe this is one of the best ones I've seen. Pretty good left skewed histogram. We should have a copy on here. Is there a copy button? Is it interactive? A lot of them switch to interactive chart. Wow. Doesn't look as good though. Doesn't have the evenness of the number lines. And we should be able to copy it. I know, right? I probably wouldn't do the colors throughout. Usually they're the same colors. But if you look a colorful look at how students' GPAs are distributed, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, distribution of current UT GPAs at UTK. It's got subtitles. And has anyone ever made a graphic before? I could download it. Let me download it and put it in my document. Or I'm gonna grab the top. If you ever made graphics before, it looks like it had a character that didn't convert, because that's why it has those. I'm just gonna copy that using snipping tool. If you've ever made graphics or charts before, this was a very quick and easy way to make a graphic. I've made a few, but they look terrible. Yeah, and GPT-5 is pretty good. And that's always what you ask of it. If you ask it to make it beautiful, if you ask it for subtitles, things like that. And we're going to take and throw our prompt in that we asked. We'll leave out all the ethical stuff, but we will grab the prompt right here and put that in at the start of this. There we go. So as you can see, we're just showing our prompt. And now we have how we did. So does that make sense? Who's following this right here? Like we had a prompt, we got a good visualization. That's what we want you to see. And what's going on with this is if you look at what ChatGPT is actually doing, is it's actually running Python code. There should be a little button here somewhere. Where's my Python code button? Is this? Datasets? Oh, what? Oh, wow. Wait. Oh, I thought I could do something with that. Where's my Python code? There it is. Here's the analysis. There's the Python code it ran in the background. So it is running Python code, and you could technically update this. I don't know why I couldn't put the rainbows on there. But you could run all this code. We could run it inside of R. We could say, reproduce this as R code using ggplot. Don't do this, what I'm about to do. ggplot2. And then I could go over to RStudio and do this. So it's giving me the R code. So if you were to take one of our other classes, and there's the read document. Actually, I might be able to run this in literally seconds because it looks like it even told me how to read the thing. And then we're going to do the next one. Any questions right now about this assignment or what we're doing? I'm just showing like how we can actually, especially in upper level analytics, use ChatGPT as a tool to start us off with building code. So it's literally making the code for us. And then we're going to go over here and drop in the code. And I think I do have that. There we go. Read Excel, ggplot2. And there you go. There's the graphic. You see the rainbow? I'm just going to change it to gradient 1. There we go. Or I could change gradient to like quote hashtag FF8200. And there we go. Now we got UT Orange. And yeah, the count metric on the right isn't so important. But yeah, you can make all your changes here. You can just change the titles, the subtitles, all of that to different things, the line widths, whatever we want. All these things, bins, you can make very few bins, so it's all one thing. You can make a lot of bins, so it's all very, like too many bins. But yeah, so this is, you have to know what bin widths are. We'll teach you that in Stat 201. but all of these things can be changed right here, and it's doing the theme size of the text, I think. Yeah, so you can change your sizes of text, bold the fonts, italicize the fonts. The H adjust is centering the text. That's horizontal adjustment of text. So you should, in later classes, we teach how to code, and then you can just get the code. So anyways, that's how you make the graphic right there, and you could get the code, and it's running code for you. So you just code it in Python. How about that second graphic right here? Okay, that second graphic for Data Analytics 0. Produce a visualization comparing these right here. And then we're going to inquire why. So we're basically going to take this prompt, go back to ChatGPT, go back. And we're going to go produce a visualization comparing these two and gender. We're going to say, give me the statistical analysis of if there is a relationship and why. Okay. So here we are. It's going to take a moment to produce this. But once again, it is writing the Python code for you. So once again, you're coding without having to code. A big thing we've been talking about is not everyone has to learn how to code now. And we used to be like, learn how to code. You got to learn how to code. Everyone's got to code. ChatGPT changed that. Ooh, that is a violin plot with a side-by-side box plot inside of it. So violin plots, and we got a little bit crunching of the text right there. And if I bring that over to, it'd be really easy. Give me the R code for this. Thanks. I'm going to clean it up in R. And here's the analysis. It's going to find that there is a difference. Females tend to have a statistically significantly higher GPA than males. You can see it right here where there's the female median, not the mean, but we do compare means normally. And there's the male median, which means and medians are close if the distribution is mostly symmetric. And it's even telling you that that center line is the median. And it did tell you about the skewness of it. Didn't say the skewness. There's the mean for males, the mean for females. We will teach you t-tests later on. And it's telling you that females have a statistically significantly higher GPA than males. To clean this up, if I were to clean this up, it'd be easy for me to clean up inside of R. There we go. It's running it. It's okay, so what we're going to do right here is we're going to go to the geom jitter and turn that off. We're going to go to the geom violin plot and turn that off and rerun it. Not as pretty. Fill equals gender. And why does the box plot not have a fill? Fill equals white? No. This should default the fill now. No, didn't default. Oh, there we go. Print it. There we go. I'd change some of the spacing, the widths of it, and then it's not showing the outliers. Oh, because the jitter. We got to turn the jitter lower. Width of the jitter, let's turn to 0. And no, that didn't show. If you can't tell, I loved graphics. I love graphics. Why is my jitter not showing? Oh, because I'm not printing it. Last tries right here. That's okay. And then let's go and turn the alpha, which is how clear these are, way down. And that's all right. It's okay. You can work on box plots forever. I could turn back on the violin plot. We don't teach you violin plots. They show more shape, but now the violin plots are on. Maybe that's a little better. You can see more of the male outliers there. But yeah, you can work with the data like that. Unrelated question, but I want to become an actuary in the future, and I know they have some languages in computing. Should I actually learn those in depth or just the basics and use? That would be my suggestion with the way the world has changed. Number one thing to do is talk to someone in that field and say, what would you suggest? But because of the way, I mean, here's the thing. I got 40 lines of code in seconds, and this is a better, usually, box plot that I can make. Like, if I don't like that subtitle right there, I can literally just go to subtitle and delete it like that. Like, if I don't want that subtitle on there anymore, I can just, let me just delete that line of subtitle. I didn't have to write that, or I could hashtag it, which puts it as a comment, so I could bring it back later as something I want, just delete the hashtag. So that's some basics of coding everyone should know who does the coding in this language. Like, what is a comment? It's words that don't evaluate as code. You usually write things like, you know, like, prints my graphic. It's like, it's a comment. It's like telling you usually what something is. But we say you can comment out code. This is not too unrelated, but look at how what you're doing is you're actually making graphics using Python code, and they turn out pretty all right, as Javante said, like, hey, that's a pretty decent graphic. But then me, as someone who does data analytics, might be like, well, I'm going to have ChatGPT give me the code, And then I'm going to go in and edit stuff in the code because I know how to do ggplots. So I'm going to be like more exact. And that's why we talk about the human or the AI sandwich, where it's human, AI, human. So you want to be able to prompt engineer and also work with whatever ChatGPT gives you. ChatGPT is not giving you the perfect answer. It's giving you what a lot of people think or a decent answer, and then you always got to work with it. I guess let's do the last little bits of this, but have people already, I bet some people have already done the full assignment. I mean, I'm almost done with it. Produce a visualization of these right here and explain the relationship. So this is current GPA and high school GPA. And so that is going to be a scatter plot. And there we go. Tell me if this is a significant relationship or not, and run the test. So here we go. Just having to do it. So a scatter plot is the visualization of two quantitative variables. It's covered in chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8. And we're going to see the visualization of two quantitative variables coming up here in a moment. It's pretty. It put the line on there, which is regression. Regression is y equals mx plus b, or what we say y equals b0 plus b1x. And we've got the visualization right there. It found a very statistically significant correlation. That means there is a relationship to your high school GPA and your college GPA. It did the R-squared and even interpreted about 6% of the variation in college GPA is explained by the variation in high school GPA. We teach you R-squared in our class. As you notice, I did a little bit more. Well, I did what I say. It is statistically significant, as we saw earlier, and the correlation is a moderate, weak, positive correlation. It's not very strong because only 6% of the variation is explained. It is statistically significant because the p-value is below 0.05. Good to see you, Magnum, in the chat. And notice we have our visualization. I might stop working on it right here, but how are people doing? I think, does the assignment make sense? You want to show your prompts. You want to show the output. You want to show that you've done it. Always look at everything on the assignment to see how I'm doing. Go here to the rubric and be like, okay, this was produce that visualization for the two quantitative, right? So screenshot and prompt visualization are all appropriate. Comparison was provided. So we need to make sure we get that comparison. This is how you get the full points here. Screenshot and prompt and visualization are all appropriate. So we need to go in here. We gotta go back to it. And there's the screenshot in this. So we need to take this. There's the prompt and the screenshot. And so that would get us prompt and screenshot. And then we go back here. And the analysis right here, we could take just this analysis section right there. And there's the, did a full statistical analysis. And once again, with the skills we teach you, what we'd want you to do is you can also do this in Excel. I'm not going to do it in Excel for the moment just because I love coding in R. And we're not teaching the chapter right now, but I'll show you how I as a statistician would do it, or business analytics person. I would say, give me all the code in R. And I don't always have it write all my code for me, but I'll show you its code and I'll show you my code and then we'll switch topics. But I hope everyone's had a great time. In 45 minutes or so, I hope you've learned a lot about how we use ChatGPT, how we use all of these right here. It's using tidyverse, ooh, Broom to clean up the data, reading in the file, using pipes. It's I don't even know what transmutate is. Transmutate, that's like, sounds like Full Metal Alchemist right there. I don't know, you need Al and Ed right there. I don't know. Full Metal Alchemist has the best anime intro song. I think it might be season 2. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. What is it? Tokyo Ghoul has another one too. So much output. Best anime intro song. Put it in the comments below. If you're watching this video, best anime intro song. Gotta get that interaction. Someone say Pokemon. Pokemon Johto. Okay. Let's drop it in. 100 lines of code. Oh my gosh. Geomes. Whoa, pretty. There we go. What I would probably do, watch me cheat. I can make that same graphic pretty easily. I'm gonna go here and Attack on Titan. No, that's Attack on Titan is Attack on Titan. That is Attack on Titan. Yeah, Attack on Titan. That's a really good one too. Is it? You're saying cooked? Yeah, like cooked. I like that. Let's go attach. Attack on Titan is good. It's got like the burning symbol to start, right? And then it like slices through. Yeah, it's a good one. Attack on Titan, first episode. If anyone watches the first Attack on Titan episode and doesn't feel anything, you know what I'm talking about, Brock? The first one at the end. I'm not going to say anything. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You don't feel anything. You just, I don't understand. Yeah. I'm done. I'm done. No spoilers. Where's GG Scatterplot? Oh no, GG Pubr. We've gone into coding now. I've kind of left Stat 1 for a moment. There it is, Scatterplot. Scatterhist. Where's the variables inside of here? This is what I do. These variable names are just not nice. I think I can do it this way. Okay. There. Oof. Oof. That looks bad. It's like one of the worst graphics I've ever made. It's the same graphic. It just looks horrible. Wow. I wonder why it looks so bad. I thought GG Pubr made nice graphics. Let me do nice graphics. I'll do it the classic way. Well, might switch topics. ChatGPT did so much better and quicker, and I can just adjust it. ChatGPT is using ggplots, adding the geom point. So you can change the size of the points right here if you want. It's storing it. I don't like when it stores it into graphic P. You don't have to do that. You can just run it like that, and then you don't also have to print your graphic. So preferably, I don't do it that way. You make your points more easy to see. Make the points huge. I mean, the things basically say what they are. This is how coding is. There's the LOS method. LOS, right? No. How's it? LM versus least. What is it? Least. Oh, LM versus method in regression. It's like my brain is booting up from having summer off. geom smooth methods. Method. It's LOESS. LOESS. There we go. That's a smoothing line. LOS. Local estimate. That's what it stands for. Local estimate. It does it at the local part, like because this goes up right here, like local to this, that's the best estimate. Local to this, that's the best estimate. Should probably go through that, but you can see it goes through the local areas. That's local estimate. We don't do that much. Standard errors, that'll turn off these bars around here. So that's the standard errors. And yeah, so you have to know what each thing is and what they do. And then you forget something. Now it's one color. Yeah. So colors, once again, you can just change. You can just write it green. And it has to be lowercase. There we go. So yeah, it's just working with code, all that good stuff. Any other last questions about 201? I know I went on a big tangent, but I want to show that, especially when you get into later classes, there's more you can do with this. When you learn how to work with this code and make adjustments, that's more we teach. Colin! Big points, 1,000 points for Colin being here. Good to see you, hearing great things. I think I saw the update on LinkedIn. So I love it. We already had like 10 or 11 people here, but say hey to Colin down there having a great time in Florida. I'm on my second Red Bull. And I hope you're coming up this year again. Hope to see you again. Always a pleasure. And I always owe you a coffee when you're in town. Javante's here. Yes. Okay, well, we're going to switch topics to, I think, 470 or 327. 327 assignments. I'll be back in exactly a month. Well, you know to get a hold of me. Maybe we could grab some lunch or anything. Whatever. I know you get into town and you are everywhere. You are just like boo, 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 boo. So whatever works on your schedule, you let me know. And I'm really proud. Cullen was in a hybrid version of this course and would dial in from Disney, and he even gave us a tour of the Magic Kingdom, and there was even like a basketball player who got like on the transit like with them or right after them. It was pretty cool. And he was like he's like, hey guys, I'm at Disney right now, check it out. And we're like, it was awesome. So I always like it was so cool. It's one of those, you're welcome, Brock, right there. It's one of those moments you remember for like your teaching career, to be like, yeah, I had a student who just would stream in from Disney and then give us tours of Disney. So thank you for creating that awesomeness. I'll put the new note right here. Okay, we're doing 327, 52, thought of 3, BS 327, assignment 0. Hang out if you want. You can still ask questions. When you ask questions, I just put them in order. So if we don't get to it as thing I thought we'd get to, it's because I took questions. So if you're in 327, you want to open up your assignment 0, and we got 12 people submitted already. Yes. And you just want to download the files. Download. And if you notice, some of these are getting 1s on them. You got to be careful. Here's some guides we have for you on how to do it. The way this is graded is you basically just have to submit your knitted file, and it has to have these stones in it, those stones right there. So the problems people run into, I'm going to go ahead and open this inside of R, is firstly, they don't have all their files in their working directory. So you need to go to Tools, Global Options, and set your working directory. Now mine is Downloads, which is good and bad. Good because if I download something, I have access to it. Bad because it clutters up my downloads. But hey, who doesn't have a cluttered up computer? So with that in mind, you can make a 320 folder, but if you do that, everything needs to be in there. A lot of really organized students start making assignment 1, assignment 2, but here's the problem. Then you have to like put those file extensions in what you try to access. So there's actually, it's funny, the more organized you are, the harder it gets to find things. Where if it's just all cluttered, you just, yeah. And then I guess you could have clutter, but I just use my downloads. Moral of the story. So we're going to open up that file. I'm going to blank the screen for a second. And then we're going to open up the file from the downloads. Once again, if you put in your 320, that's great. And then just access it from your 320. Where is that file? I'll just go to where I downloaded it. Okay, downloads. Here we go. Okay, file has been opened. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to knit this. Knitting it will turn it into a Word document. You can also make web pages with this. So you can actually make web pages. Yeah, that's what it says. Or you can make a PDF file. 2 hours later, yes, thank you. A lot of fun things. If this knits, you're good to go. If it doesn't knit, you got a problem. You must have R 4.3.2 or later to knit this. Let's just change this because I don't want to update my R. Cool. You'll probably be fine, but that's a check to make sure you have the latest version of R. I don't care if you change it. So, oh, look at that. Now, here's a problem you might run into. Notice how it's saying it can't find these certain things. The test data, it can't find that. And that's because the file didn't have the right name when downloaded. And I think this is because I think it's kind of that way stored on Canvas. So here's the issue. This is kind of a trick within here that you got to catch. If we go down to line 152, it's looking for testdata.csv. Now, I'm not going to go to my files because it's got all my files. But you need to go over to your files. I might try to find a way to show this. Let's go to downloads. I'm going to try to find a way to show this. Let me do test data. There it is, testdata.csv. Okay. So here's the issue. This says testdata-1. So you can do it in your files. Hey, Abby and Newbot. But you can right-click this and go to rename. Where's rename? Rename. and we're just going to delete this -1. You can also do it over there in your files. So go ahead and click back inside of here, and it's renamed, and there it is. So we're good to go. It's been renamed. I think we still have to rename the other one. We'll see that error when we hit it, or we could just do it test environment dot r data. And let me blank the screen again. I'll go grab that one. You can do it by, I'm in my downloads. You can do it by just going to your files and checking that out. So there we go. And you can see the same issue here where it has the -1. Right click it and go to rename. It's being crazy. It's moving around on me. And when you go to rename right there, click away, and it has now renamed it. So the files must have the exact, let's show you some points there, Abby. The files must have the exact extension. And with that we've renamed the files, data for Jackson. Let's go ahead and knit this right here. And it should work. There we go. We have achieved it. Oh no, where's the test image? Is the rocks here? I don't care if that web image is there. Well, we need our rocks in here. Test image should be showing up. For some have not had the test. Oh, you know why? Because the test image is not right there. So I would not get 100. The test image is right here. And we are going to have to go back to our downloads again, which you can go to your files. Brian would have lost some points. That's not good. And let's go find it. And trying to find it for you guys, and I'll show it. There it is. Here it is right here. Test image -1 or parentheses 1 rename. There we go. Sure, yes. Do you want to rename to no? You know what I'm gonna do? Rename and say Brian Test. There we go, Brian Test. Then we go here and we say Brian Test. It just has to be the same name. I think I've got a bunch of everything crazy. So now we go to knit again, knit to Word, and I think we should have it. Now, if you have the document open, it won't knit, which I think I do. So because the document is open, it cannot write to that location. So that's the error I just got. So let's knit to Word again. And now since the document is closed, it should knit. And we scroll down and we see no rocks. What is going on? What is going on? What is happening? Let's see this. Let's find out what's going on. No path to briantest.jpg. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Oh. In the downloads. Try to find it here. Details. Trying to find it. Where is it? That is the file. Oh, it's in old downloads? Ooh, something weird is going on right here. It went into my old downloads, so you're probably fine. You've probably got it working. Okay. It was in old downloads. I don't know why things are downloading to old downloads. Oh, I hate when things are weird on my computer. Okay, so I moved it, and there it is. The file was not in the right spot. Once again, if I go to files on this computer, it'll show all files, which I don't usually show online. But you can do it by looking at your files and seeing if your files are there. And you can also go to rename when you're in files. So if anyone's watching from 327, you'll have an easier time than I did because you can click on files and then you can click it and go to rename and you can rename the file there. So make sure you have the right names. The files have to be inside there. But that's how you do it. That's the trick to this one. You got to make sure those things are there. Make sure you have that image. I'll be mentioning that in class shortly. Well, that's assignment 0 for 327. That took 10 minutes. And we've encountered a lot of errors. So we like that. Errors are fun. No, they aren't. I say they are. Let's do assignment 0 for 475. And let's go grab it. Okay, we're talking about assignment 0 for 475. You'll see this is very similar, very, very similar. And I'm going to blank the screen. Well, I can go to assignments. There it is. People turning in assignment 0. A lot of people turned in already. This one's even easier, probably. Being successful in 475. So you need to download RStudio, install RStudio, set your working directory in RStudio, and set a theme. All these videos right here walk you through this. Once you've completed these steps, create an RMD file instead of R and add the following as a reminder to yourself. So do this right here. You can knit this and submit this, but I want to talk about this briefly because I don't want to end the video too soon right here. We've lost our audience, but I will say this was a pretty good first day. I'm not even to these classes. I'm just watching. Thank you, Javante. We're throwing you more points. We'll do. Javante, I worked so hard on this right here. This, see how long it is. There we go. I worked so hard on that. That was my big thing for the other things. I made that right. Well, I scraped the audio from the, you can't keep getting away with it. Get me invincible. I want invincible. If you've seen the episode, such a good episode. Aaron Paul does the voice of the guy. Oh, thank you so much. It was my favorite thing that I created. And I showed it to my wife and she was like, that's really good. I almost did the music perfectly at the end because I knew it lasted for about 1 minute. And I was trying to make it so like the end of the thing would go perfectly. And that was a lot of fun. Anyways, so Javante, you're doing what I do in 475 to be successful. Is the first thing is just attend class and interact. Like treat these classes like you're treating it right now, where it's just a conversation where you're just talking to me and you can just ask things. Because imagine if you sit somewhere with your parents and they talk to you and you just go like, are you listening? Be like, yeah, what'd you just say? There has to be a back and forth usually. I mean, your parents, they want you to talk to them. Maybe they want you to listen at times. I'd say that's the way to treat it. Like, you should listen to me, but you should also talk to me. And if you're not doing that, you're not learning. You're just sitting there like, you're not learning. Take notes. We have a note sheet from Stats 1. I want to see if the note sheet actually got some stuff in it. So I'm going to go look. I might try to do this for other classes too, but we made a note sheets for Stats 201, an open note sheets for anyone to use. And what is in the note sheet from yesterday? Okay. It's got some stuff in it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Some neat. It worked. Thank you. There's very little notes in here. So feel free to go into the note sheets and take notes. Start assignments early. Javante, you're doing it perfectly. I'm assuming, and you can say if you want, but I think you've already completed assignment 0, right? So you're already done for Friday. And I bet it took like, what, 15, 20 minutes? And then please let me know if you followed along. There you go. And you're getting points right here all the time for talking. I just throw out points randomly during office hours and stuff. But just let me know, especially, and I'll be talking to the Grayos. I'll be like, be nice. They just need these screenshots. Not hard at all. Just start early. Anytime you see an assignment and it's like even that week or whatever further ahead, just be like, hey, Brian, how do you do this assignment? And with the new data analytics assignments, there's not really videos on them. So I have to make new videos and explain how to do it. I think you've joined the Discord. Join the Discord, ask questions. These are notifications I have for other stuff, but join, ask questions. It's really the easiest way for me to communicate because if someone asks a question, I can answer it or someone else can answer it. And things are answered almost instantaneously when we have a lot of students there. And they just help each other. Ask questions about assignments. Yeah. If you don't know how to do something, just be like, how do you do this? What does this mean? And then I'll do it. I'll help you. And don't wait till like the minute before it's due. Because I've had a few emails like that. They'll be like, Brian, I was stuck and this wouldn't do this. And I'm like, oh, all you had to do is click here. And they're like, what? Attend office hours when you're stuck. Javante, you're doing everything to be successful in 475. And I'll tell you this much. I really don't think the courses we have, especially in the upper level courses, I don't think they're that much harder than our intro courses. It's just building knowledge. And by the time you get to 475, I think it's a pretty flat level of knowledge where you just build. It's a step each time. Does that make sense? You're not taking a big step. It's just a one step at a time. We're going up learning things. And by the end, you're like, oh, well, that's not that hard because I know these other 10 facts. Yeah. So it's all, and that's awesome. Like one summer, I had students who took Stat Tool in May term, 320 in the first term, and 474 in the second term. So by the end of this at the start of the summer, they hadn't had any statistical courses, and by the end of the summer, they had data mining, which is like large data sets and building neural nets. So they went from how do you find the mean to how do you build a neural net. No, we walk you through each thing, and those students that was one of the best summers I've ever had. It was wild. And one of my favorite stories from that, I still remember her name. I won't say it though, because it doesn't matter. But it's like a name from a famous thing. Yeah, but that's why I think I remember it. But her father was looking to hire someone to code for him, and the person had been coding for like 3 years. And in 3 months, she was a better coder. She was like, Dad, this guy doesn't know how to do this. And he's like, well, he's only been doing it 3 years. She was like, Dad, I've only been doing this 3 months, and I can do this, 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 and this, and this. And that's because when you're in school, we hold you to certain standards. Yeah. So I was like, this is why school matters, because like if you teach yourself, which is good, some people are autodidactic, but if you teach yourself, you don't have anyone to check your knowledge. You don't have anyone to push you. Imagine someone saying, I'm going to train myself at home, like, and win competitions, like be the strongest person in the world. Or someone says, I have a trainer. You'd be like, that person with a trainer is going to do way better, because that trainer is going to monitor you. They're going to motivate you. They're going to give you goals. They're going to keep you responsible to those goals. That's what school is. We're just your academic trainers. And yeah, so I think to me, if you do these things, if you come here as you're doing, you're paying for training. You're like, oh, I got a personal training session today. And someone's like, what? And you're like, I got to go to class. That's what it is. We're just the personal trainers for knowledge. And obviously, some are better than others. I've had a few personal trainers. I'm like, I don't know. But I will say I actually had to do physical therapy, and he was really great. So I actually did have a personal trainer for physical therapy for my hip. They told me I need a hip replacement, and I said, nope. I said, I'm going to do physical therapy, what's called. And now I don't need a hip replacement for maybe another decade or two. I don't know. It wasn't like they were saying it was imminent. They were saying we might have to go down this path, but you could do physical therapy to see if things improve, and we'll look at where we're at. So, but I had a lot of improvement through physical therapy, so that was good. So yeah. Anyways, fun stories with Brian. So this one's not so bad. You basically just put it inside of R. Put these as a reminder. Open up the RMD file. You can add your bonus screenshot from Discord to get additional bonus. Reptar. I don't know how they say it on Rugrats. It's Rugrats, right? I used to go to UT Physical Therapy, and they were great. That's awesome. Shout out to UT Physical Therapy. Untitled. I think it's Untitled. Is it open? Open A. Yeah, Reptar's awesome. I should get like a Reptar shirt. Can you paste this? I didn't. Now I need to go get physical therapy. I would like my back. I'm 6'3", and my back just hurts sometimes. Like, if anyone else here is over 6 feet, you know, like, you could be under 6 feet too, and your back still hurt. But like, your feet go off beds, you hit your head on stuff, like you walk through a door, or you're walking up some stairs, walking down some stairs. You just your shoulders hurt. I think like the bigger and longer, like I feel bad for people like 6'5", 6'9". Like they must be like knocking their head on everything. And I've seen it. I had a friend who was like 6'10", and he came up. He's like, "Hey, bro," and he's like turning his head to go through my doorway. I was like, "Do you hit your head on stuff?" He's like, "All the time." The worst is like ceiling fans or something. Like you go in somewhere and you can't, like if it's at eye level, you don't see it. Like I barely see my hand right there because it's like just the way your vision is. Like you don't see the top of your eyelids, so it's, I don't know. Shooting pains down your shoulder, not so much. It's more like middle of the back or bottom of the back, especially hip pain. I ran a lot. I ran cross country, so running cross country they think could have caused a lot of arthritis. So a lot of, like, I weigh close to 200 pounds. Like I weigh somewhere around 180, 190 usually, but 190, 6'3", running, smashing down on the ground. It's not so good for your joints. I mean, running's good, but swimming's usually better. And then swimming has its issue with like your skin, with chlorine and stuff like that. So it's always fun, but swimming's low impact. So get a rowing machine, right? Does rowing machines have issues? Just get a rowing machine, and then you got like crazy shoulders, like back and shoulders. Maybe I should get a rowing machine. I got an overuse injury from doing pull-ups is the last thing I'll say. So this summer, the tendon that goes down here, which is in like supination and pronation or whatever, I got an overuse injury, and I got golfer's elbow or tennis elbow. Overextension probably, I think so it was. It was like I was doing so many like pull-ups and chin-ups. I was doing about 50 in sets, and all of a sudden I was going to bed one night, and I told my wife, I was like, it hurts if I hit my elbow. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like the slightest tap just hurts. She's like, it's not normal. She's like, that's not good. I did get my t-shirt though, when we went to the Fanboy Expo. I did the pull-ups when the Army people are there, and I got my t-shirt for doing enough pull-ups. Proud of that. You might see me with that t-shirt on campus. It's a good soft t-shirt. That was like my big goal. I told Jake, one of our TAs or SI leaders, I was like, I will get this t-shirt. We're just having a chill moment right here. We stopped doing stats. I got the t-shirt. It made my summer. So, and I did them as Deadpool. Well, any last questions right here? A little chill music as we finish off the day. I think the music's too loud. We're going to say that. I got to put the music about to there. Okay. Let me save that on the soundboard. People said the music was too loud yesterday, but I had to turn it up for the Stream Deck. If music's ever too loud, let me know. Should be this. Save profile. Saving everything. Going to the main screen. Well, I hope everyone had a good office hours. We pretty much did all the assignments, a lot of them for the first week right here. So with that, I might go on a short walk around campus. My phone charges still at 93% power. I can go catch some Pokemon before class. So it's Pokemon time around campus, but we should have Data Analytics 0 done. So until then, we'll do a quick outro today. So, see you, Javante. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.